Hey guys, Utah Steve here, back for another adventure. Brand new camera today. Sony something or other. Not a cheap camera, but I needed to upgrade. I still have the GoPro, but I really want to use that for like those underwater shots and action shots and whatnot. The sound quality on that camera is not great, and I always struggle when I edit. I have to crank the volume up all the way on the videos, and it's still not right. This one has stereo sound. It has all the bells and whistles that I need to do these vlogs. I'm sorry about the shadows. I am in the shadow of the mountains right now at the top of 27th Street in Ogden. Today I am going to bag Malin's Peak for the second time in my life. The first time, a couple 3 years ago, I did Malin's Peak and I kept calling it Malan's Peak, and I was corrected profusely by locals who have been here all their lives, and I've only been here the last 6 years. So Malin's Peak, at the top you hit Malin's Peak and then you continue on, and there's a place called Malin's Basin, and this is a place where you can backpack in, you can camp. It's quite a hike. It's a moderate hike, much like my Waterfall Canyon hike was last week or a couple weeks ago. So it's a bit challenging. The last time I came here, I documented it. I was a newbie. I didn't know where I was going. I missed the trail turnoff going into Taylor Canyon and ended up, well, let me show you. This is Taylor Canyon, and the Bonneville Shoreline Trail runs all along here. Well, I hiked up through here following the trail, which starts, you know, right here. And then where the turnoff is for the canyon, I didn't even notice the sign. It's kind of embarrassing to admit, but I went that way on the Bonneville Shoreline Trail, and I hiked all the way to Ogden Canyon. And then I realized I made a wrong turn. So I had to backtrack, and then I went up to Malin's Peak. Now the problem with that is that I only had 2 liters of water with me. I ran out of water. On my way back down, I thought I was gonna die. I really did. I was dehydrated, I was dizzy, too proud to ask any other hikers for water, which was stupid. Now I carry extra water, an extra bottle. I don't know what to do about these shadows, but just in case I run into somebody who's really thirsty and maybe didn't prepare. So I learned my lesson, and I've got a 3-liter bladder with me, as well as a giant bottle. This is staying in the car, but I have another one of these just in case, and some electrolytes to mix in with it. So that won't happen again. I ended up using my life straw in the river, the stream up here, and it literally saved my life. I stuck it in the river and I just drank until I felt better. So today is going to be different. It's going to be straight up the canyon to the peak, over into the basin, and see what's there. I've never been to the basin. That's the site of an old hotel that used to be there back in the 1800s and early 1900s. So it should be a good experience. I'm really looking forward to it. It's going to be 70 degrees today. Right now there's a lot of shadows on the trail, so I do have my puffer coat with me just in case I get cold, but I don't think I will, because it's already 56 degrees, and it's very popular today. The only parking at the top of 27th Street is along the curb next to people's houses. Anyway, it amuses me when I see people hiking. They show up at trailheads like this. There were 3 people that just showed up. One guy had a bag of potato chips in his hand, and the other guy had a bottle of water, and that's all I saw between the 3 of them. No backpack. I hope they're not going all the way to the peak and thinking that that's enough, potato chips and water. We'll talk more about what's in my pack when we get up there and rest, but right now, let's get on the trail. I actually had to wait several minutes to even get out of my car. A large group of about 10 people showed up in their spandex and tank tops. Call them peak baggers. They just run to the peak, take a bunch of pictures, go back to their car. It's fine, I don't care. The problem I had was they were so loud. You wouldn't have been able to even hear me talk. Okay, here's where I blew it last time. Taylor Canyon, Waterfall Canyon. And then here we have no indication of Malins Peak. But what it does is it directs you either to Taylor Canyon, this way, or Waterfall Canyon, which we went to a couple weeks ago, that way. So I followed this. Here's our view so far, by the way, of the Ogden area. This is one thing I like about outdoorsy people. Instead of making that hat their own, they left it here for that person to come back and find it. Anyway, see, it talks right here, Malins, Basin, and Peak. And this says, basically, a continuation of the Bonneville Shoreline Trail. I hiked this 5 miles out of my way, there and back, to Ogden Canyon, instead of going up here. That's not happening this time. There's usually a bowl of water chained right here for puppies. Really cool thing that people usually do. I don't know why it's not here right now. It's definitely warm enough. Up we go, not towards Ogden Canyon. Thank goodness. Look at that. Isn't that beautiful? And I just live right down there. Still some snow on the higher peaks. I ended up leaving my puffer coat in the car because as soon as I stepped out, whether it's in the 50s or not right now, just the hiking alone, it's just too warm. Would have been smart to keep it just in case something goes wrong and I end up here overnight, but I didn't. We're not too far in, but I took a breather. We have all day. It's a gorgeous Sunday. There's no hurry whatsoever. Even if I have to hike back after dark, I've done that before. I have an 800 lumen flashlight with me. I have enough food, water, supplies to get me by. I just don't want to race to the top and be exhausted and just wish I was home because I'm so tired and sore. I just want to take my time, and that's what I'm doing. I know a lot of people are up here trail running and, like I said, peak bagging, but really I just want to see that basin and proof that I'm up here to relax. I got my double hammock in the back in my pack, so I'm gonna get up there. I'm gonna chill for quite a while. Hopefully the sooner the better. It's only about 10 a.m. Just wanted to catch my breath and hydrate for a minute. Okay, we have some more signage here. It's tempting to go this way because there's a bridge, very dry creek, but that's actually going to take us back down. Here's our sign: Taylor Canyon, North Trail, Malins, Basin, and Peak. This way. baby. See the spots? There's another one hopping around in here too. Always makes me happy to see a robin. Spring has officially arrived. Snow has been, we've had a couple of good snowstorms. They practically melted off the next day, so definitely not in winter anymore. One thing we have to watch out for, it starts warming up like this. There are rattlesnakes that like to come out on the trail. It's the perfect place for them to sun themselves and enjoy the spring weather in their way. I've seen them on these trails, and they like to hang out in these little pockets in the trees and in the rocks. We definitely don't want to surprise a rattlesnake. Just give them their space. They'll usually check you out for a minute and then slither away, because they aren't nearly as interested in us as we think they are. They only strike if they feel threatened. Okay, here is the end of the spring before the creek dries out. So we do have a water source. Smart spider. Right where the bugs go.
It comes out of nowhere. A knife in the heart, a slap in the face, the best of intentions gone awry. Expect the unexpected. Build your firewall and weep. You never know what creeps around the corner, lurking in the shadows, preying on your soft spot. With fangs that pierce and claws like razors, a place where spiteful words fly freely. You are in the path of cutting sermons. The creature that stalks you is unseen, a sifter of souls, divider of wheat from chaff. A delicate whisper in my ear, as subtle as moonrise in summertime. Think fast on your feet. Expect the unexpected. The ages roll, another year closes. Soft and broken, it creeps like Christmas dying or summer sinking into fall. White hairs appear and lines deepen. Thin on top and thick below, I lament my passing time. Frozen, barren emptiness of winter, like death after old age. I wander and hope for spring. Trees bereft of foliage, the hibernation of life begins and swallows its glorious majesty. I hunger to feel alive.
Ends right down there, and it's coming from up the side of the mountain. The creek bed here is dry, and now I remember it better. I had to hike all the way down back to the creek source right back there. As soon as I saw water, I put my life straw in the water and started to drink like I'd never had water in my life. From this point on, there's no water until we get to the basin. So just something to be aware of if you hike the trail. And I don't know if water in the basin is there year-round, or if that's just a springtime runoff thing. I'll find out this summer when I come up here and backpack overnight. It may even be this spring, I'm not sure yet. Anyway, I've stopped several times to let several people go by, and some other people are coming, so I better get moving, get out of their way. One thing that I forgot to do in my last video, my Waterfall Canyon video, I forgot to post the pictures at the end of the video. They're still in my phone. So, through the magic of technology, here are all the shots from that hike a couple weeks ago.
and swallows its glorious majesty. I hunger to feel alive, but find I am consumed and surrounded by the gray stillness of time's ruthless hand. Be still, my soul, and sleep. I am forever forgotten, and you, my friend, shall thrive and bloom in the ground where I once lived. The earth is dank and quiet. Spattered clouds scud across the growing sky. Spider on the wall waits. I doze in sparse increments as she inches ever closer. Soft spring flowers caress my hand. They feel like your face once did. Soft, enchanting, soothing in my clutch. They soon fade.
And I'll put a link down below for that video if you're interested. If not, that's cool. I've come to this spot. We have another bridge on a dry creek. I love the gobbing here underneath the bridge holding it up. It's entirely supported by chain link and rocks. Gobbing, if you don't know, is a mining term that they used to stack rocks on the side of the mine so they didn't have to haul it all out. So that's kind of the idea right there. Pretty cool. So this is our ascent up towards the peak. I mean, it's not right up there, it zigzags a bit. But I thought I'd share this with you. Look at these cliffs. They're incredible. We're gonna hike right by them. Just beautiful. In the description for this hike on All Trails, the app I use on my phone, fantastic app by the way, it finds all the hikes closest to where you live using the location of your phone. So even if you travel, you can find out where all the local hikes are. Got some people coming, but real quick, it says that there's a waterfall on this hike, and I've never seen one. So if someone knows different, let me know. But as far as I know, the closest thing to a waterfall is where the water comes down the mountain into that creek, and it's not really anything like Waterfall Canyon. As soon as these people pass, I'll get up the trail. Well, one problem with video vlogging is sometimes you have to sit for 20 minutes on a rock and wait for group after group to pass you before you can make a video. Because I don't want them in my video. It's not their fault. This is a popular day to hike and a popular trail. And then things get put into perspective, like these two ladies that just walked by with a dog. One of them mentioned that she's going blind, and the dog is guiding her on these trails so that she doesn't have to give up hiking. So I have absolutely nothing to complain about, because I can see all of this beauty and I'm grateful for it. My father, who lives with me and I take care of, he's 85 and he's entirely blind, completely. Be grateful for your health, no matter how old you are. Now we're at the base of those cliffs I was just showing you. Trail goes right around it. You can hear the water again. Whew. Getting a workout today. There's the water down there. Here's our trail. This part tends to get pretty difficult through the rocks, but not for a long stretch. Here's our view of the valley. Beautiful day. One thing that I really like about this, I've been passed by numerous people, but I guarantee you they're all going to the peak, and then they're gonna hang out there for a while. There will be a lot of people up there. It's to be expected. The view is amazing. And then they're gonna hike back down. I'm going to the peak. I'm gonna check it out for a while. Not for as long as them at first. Then I'm gonna hike into the basin and chill where all those people won't be. And then towards the end of the day, I'll sit up there on that peak and just look down on the valley, and it'll be spectacular, and there won't be as many people. So that's my plan. Oh, we made it. Look, we're at the peak. Oh yeah, look at that view. Haha, isn't that awesome? There's only one problem. This isn't the peak. The peak's up there. Okay, so here's our view so far, just a little outcropping. We've made a lot of progress. There's Ogden. Amazing. Way over there is Ben Lomond, highest peak in the county at 9,712 feet. That is on my summer bucket list. It's a trail that goes up there, and that will be the highest peak I've hiked so far. And I hope to bag Utah's highest peak. See, I bag peaks too. I hope to bag Utah's highest peak, which is Kings Peak in the Uintas, 12,000 something feet. I'll put it up here on the screen. During the first or second week of August. And here come people to interrupt my video. That's really annoying to me. When you're obviously using a camera, taking video, people just come up. Would you step in front of somebody who was trying to take a still photograph? Why would you run your mouth when somebody's trying to take quiet video of the view below? No trail etiquette at all. No human being etiquette at all. Seriously, you're not the only people up here, freaking narcissists. Anyway, there's our view. And here's our trail. We are getting close, my friends. Okay, so I have literally parked myself on the side of the trail, leaning against this big spruce. How'd you like the shot up my nose? We're almost there. I've been hiking steady for quite some time, and kind of getting overheated and dehydrated. So I have to carry more things with me in my pack than a lot of people doing this hike, because my plan is to chill up at the top and relax in my hammock and have some food. So I'm not just, you know, out for a good workout, which is fine. I don't care if other people do that. But that's why I'm carrying more weight than most people taking this trail are. So I'm feeling pretty run down. I think the breakfast I had has been used up. I'm still not hungry, but I am losing energy, so I'm gonna eat when I get up there. But here's what we're looking at as far as how far we have to go. Okay, so blue dot is me, and you can see how the trail is going to zigzag a couple of times. Now over here, this is Malan's Basin, where we're headed ultimately. That is not that far of a distance. The peak, I believe, is right here. It doesn't have it labeled, but I think that's the peak. And then there's a trail that goes into the basin, which is seriously minutes from the peak. So we only have to go from there to there, but it's a zigzag. So we've come quite a ways from 29th Street, where I parked, where the little green guy is. We've hiked all the way up to here. And if you look, these all connect, because there's our friend Waterfall Canyon. So if you go into the basin, you can also find your way back to Waterfall Canyon, but that's not happening today. So just a few zigzags and then the peak. We're almost there. Good stuff. I'm gonna really just cool down because I'm sweating. I'm probably gonna take the undershirt off, the long sleeve blue, stick with just the gray so I can cool off. Moisture wicking shirts, moisture wicking pants, waterproof shoes, all designed to keep moisture off of me so that I don't overdo it. But I'm feeling pretty freaking fatigued. And I'll talk more about why I'm not eating a Snickers bar right now when I get to the top. Okay. Long sleeve off. Well rested, hydrated. Onto the peak. Well, we are in the home stretch. It's pretty warm. I have a pounding headache. Gonna take me a nice nap in that hammock when we get up there. One more switchback and then we're on top of the world. Well, the trail is semi-snowy, not too bad, just patches. Most of it's off to the side. This basically turns right up there and heads right to the peak. So we are literally almost there. Look at that. Look at that view. And that's nothing compared to what we have in store. And just a few more steps. At this point, I've worked up a really good appetite. I'm hungry. So we'll get up there and it's going to be nice to eat and relax. It's funny, back there in the pines, the spruces, snow. And then you turn this way and it's almost like a desert trail. This looks like something out of a Halloween movie. Well guys, guess what? A little ridge right there, that is the peak. Why don't you hit it with me? That's what she said. We made it. We're as high as the airplanes. There's Weber State College. My house is somewhere over there. Great Salt Lake, West Desert. Ben Lomond. Gonna have to be quiet for a minute because there are people over here. Well, with those two sitting up there enjoying the peak together, having their little romantic rendezvous, I'm going to stick to my plan. We'll hang out at the peak later on today. In the meantime, this is our trail into the basin. I've never gone down it. That was my plan the last time I came here, but I was out of water and exhausted and got backtracked and all that stuff. Here's our view. You can see forever. It's beautiful. It's a beautiful day. It's a perfect temperature. What more can you ask for, really? I earned this hike. I'm gonna go relax soon. But I'll tell you, it is nice to be walking downhill. It's either downhill or on flat ground right now. What a relief to my entire body down into the basin. What was that? Is that a lizard? Something ran in there. I think it was a lizard. And we're here. It was about 10 minutes is all from the peak. Here's our view behind. As soon as you walk into the pines, you reach the basin. Sort of a gateway in a way. Huge freaking pines. There's a water source. In here I can hear it. We have a camping spot right in there. Right off the trail. But I'm not going to take that one. Ah, it's beautiful. Here we are, my friends. Malins Basin. It's beautiful. And here is the site of the old hotel. If you can believe there was a hotel up here at one time. It's insane, but here we go. Malin Heights Resort. 1893 to 1913. This was the site of the Malin Heights Resort, right here. Including 2-story hotel, sawmill, 7 log cabins, and a clubhouse. Board and room, $6 per week. Single meal, 35 cents and 50 cents. Proprietors, Bartholomew Tim Malin and Louise Malin. And family, placed by the Malin family descendants in 1997. That is awesome. Huh. There was a hotel and cabins all through here. How did they get up here? Where was the road? Unless the trail was the road and it just eventually became a trail instead of a road. I have no idea. That's pretty amazing. We are standing on historic ground right now. Who knows what went on here? Alright. Let's check out this water source. I still have water, but I also have my water filter. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. You gotta see this. That is beautiful. Well, no worries about water. Now I just need to find somewhere to hang my hammock. I would imagine in a month's time this will be very green and lush. It'd be pretty amazing to use a metal detector over there. Somebody's fire pit here. Look at that, look at that lizard. Did you see that guy? You see him? Hey, buddy. I used to catch those when I was a kid and keep them as pets. Watch him take off. Super fasto. Where'd you go? You know, the younger version of me would have caught you. Here we have some more relics from the past. Like an old boiler. I read about this once online, but my memory is failing me at the moment. for lack of food. This has been here a very long time. Look at that. Yeah, it's a boiler for sure. And over here, some more relics. Wow. Chandler and Taylor, Indianapolis, Indiana. Patented December 11th, 1914? 1874, December 15th, 1874. The latest patent was May 13th, 1877. That has been there a long time, my friends. There's some scattered through here too. Wow, it's just kind of all over the place. I guess when you have heavy metal like this, you can't really just haul it out of here when your hotel business goes under. Pretty amazing. And this tree and this tree are the perfect place for my hammock. Except we're gonna put it here. This is a little more even keeled. I'll hook it there and there. These trees look all right, and I'm close to the water. I can explore from here. Let's get set up. Well, I spared you having to watch me set it up, so it only took a few minutes. We are good to go. I have food, I have water, I gotta pee, and then I will take my shoes off and then lay in the hammock. I do have a tarp to keep the sun off me, but I don't know. I don't know if I'm going to do that or not. Maybe after I eat and get some energy. I'm just really exhausted right now. So the boiler's over there. And the other parts probably to the boiler are over here. And they probably use this stream, I would think, as the source of water for that boiler. So maybe this is a year-round stream. In here I have some meat sticks that I bought at Walmart. There's like, how many are in there? 20? Roughly. 16. Energy beverages, coffee. I've got some Trail Foodie snacks that I brought. Trail Foodie has gone under, so if you've seen my Trail Foodie videos, they're no longer around. So disregard going to their website. It'll just give you a disclaimer saying they're no longer doing what they did. So there's that. That's cheese. Just cheese. Somehow dehydrated cheese. You got some olives. It's another Trail Foodie jam. Got some Kipper snacks. Oh, what else I got in here? I've got some tuna, sweet and spicy tuna salad, and urban garlic. And you know, just, I think that's it. No, I've got these electrolyte packets that I'm going to dump into my water bottle I brought. I brought a, here's my sit pad. Where's my water bottle? Look at the mess I'm making, just trying to film this and move stuff at the same time. Where'd you go, dude? I have my water bladder easily filled up at the stream because this whole end opens up. You can just hold it under the water and it just fills right up. As you can see, I've only drank about 1 liter of water. It's probably why my head is killing me. I definitely need to take some ibuprofen and rehydrate. And I'll need those electrolytes to do so. There it is, way down in the bottom. So I'm going to drop a couple of those packets in this, and that's what I'll drink to rehydrate. And this I can hydrate with, as well as use as sort of a faucet if I need to wash, or if I need to put water in my cook cup with oh, bandana, that'll be nice to put on. Oh yeah, all kinds of fun stuff. There's my spoon, my giant spoon. So my battery is kind of diminishing at this point. I have my battery bank with me, and I'll definitely charge it up. For the next little while, I'm not going to film. I'm going to eat and hydrate and relax in the hammock, probably take a nap. And then I'll come back and we'll do some exploring around here, just check some stuff out. I just really need to take care of number one here, or there will be no video. And then we'll talk. We'll discuss life and its current happenings in the world of Utah Steve anyway. So I'll see you in a little while. Okay, so it's been maybe an hour, and my headache is almost gone. I found some Excedrin in my little pill box I carry. I did have ibuprofen and Motrin even, but Excedrin gives you energy and gets rid of your headache. So there's your commercial for this episode. So I took that. I drank an entire liter, an entire one of these. I noticed my legs started cramping too, so it's definitely dehydration. And I refilled it with my water bladder, so there's only 1 liter left in my water bladder. But I really don't want to carry 3 liters of water back down the mountain, so I'm going to use it up before I leave and just carry this to meet my needs. I have a water filter anyway. I didn't know what the water sources would look like up here, so I could have just gotten away with filling this and bringing my water filter and leaving that heavy 3-liter bag at home, but I didn't know. I didn't know what to expect. So anyway, I tried to rest for a while, but the Excedrin kicked in. Now I'm kind of wired. I decided not to put the tarp up. The sun is nice. It's really warm. I considered it. I debated for a while whether or not to do it, but ultimately decided it's great if you're spending the night, but I really didn't feel like setting it up just to lay here for a few hours, take it all down, and pack it away. You know, the hammock goes up easy, but the tarp's kind of a pain in the butt. Tying it off in certain places, making sure it's at the right level, the right tension, pulling out the tent, the tent pegs, the stakes, whatever, and staking it down. And it would be nice, I'll admit, to have that shade, but right now there's not a lot of shade going around here, except across the river, but there's nowhere to really sit there. I'm just rambling. Speaking of rambling, let's do a little update. My personal life. Sometimes I do this on this channel, so feel free to skip ahead if you don't give a crap. I understand completely. You've got your personal life, your issues. I'm not trying to unload. But I am trying to share. There are people out there that seem to care. So, my soon-to-be ex-wife served me with papers. Today is Sunday. She served them last Tuesday. Herself, not a constable or anything, but brought them over, said we needed to talk, said she had the papers. What's frustrating about it is she was talking like she wanted to work things out, and I wasn't sure if I wanted to, because once someone moves out, she's been moved out for 9 months now, and there hasn't been a lot of communication. And then suddenly she said she wanted to make it work. And then we had a little tiff, a little falling out, and then the next thing I knew, she was handing me papers. So it's over, it's done. I signed the papers. We have joint custody of my 2 little boys. I have the most of the time anyway because of her work schedule and my work schedule. It's just for the best. So things worked out that way. I didn't have to fight for custody or anything like that. She makes twice the money I do, so it's kind of weird. I was supposed to pay her $200 a month in child support, $200, and she's supposed to pay me $200 a month in child care. Well, it kind of cancels itself out, and she's also going to help with the kids' health insurance that I cover through my work. So I'll take a load off. It's kind of discouraging. I've been down this road twice now. I was widowed several years ago. My 2 oldest boys' mom died, and she was my best friend. And she's been gone a while, and they've grown up and become men. And I've been divorced twice since then. The first time was a rebound marriage. I was an idiot, and I married a year after my wife died. And I honestly felt like I couldn't do any better, and this was the best that life had to offer me. And she and I, my first ex, 4 months is all we were together. Anyway, the only thing compatible was we were both widowed, and our parts were compatible. Other than that, there wasn't a lot of compatibility at all. She was very much an indoor girl, Southern California, money, that whole thing. And I'm a very simple person, as you can see. It doesn't take much to make me happy. What I carried on my back and the fresh air and the trees and the river, I'm good. And so I've tried for the last almost 11 years to make this last marriage work. And when someone's emotionally unavailable to you, emotionally sterile, someone has spent so much time looking out for herself, it's hard to foster intimacy in a relationship. And I'm not just talking about that intimacy. There may be kids watching, but I'm talking about just being close, holding hands, spending time together, doing fun things together, cuddling on the couch, laughing at a movie, simple, everyday, intimate things that couples do. They were non-existent. For the last 3 or 4 years of my marriage, it was me sitting in bed being ignored because there was a cell phone in her face and a TV show on. And she would get angry if I asked her to pay attention to me. So after a long time of several years of putting up with that and her putting up with my crap, my end of it is she wasn't there for me. Her end of it is I found other interests. And this is one of them. I discovered backpacking out of desperation and loneliness in my marriage. I embraced this. I ran across YouTube videos and I went, you know what? This is just right, just what I need. So I've been doing this since 2014. This will be my 5th year, full year of doing it, and it saved my life, really. Kept my sanity. So we are 2 very different people. We went through marriage counseling. I paid for it. We went through marriage counseling for a long time, and the only thing she could say was, well, the marriage counselor doesn't live with us. She wouldn't try to work on the marriage or change anything. And then one day, last July, she told me she wanted a divorce, and within a week or 2, she was out. She has her own house, she has her own life, she's not too far away. So the boys are part of my life, absolutely. I take them to and from school. I do homework with them. I feed them dinner. They go to mom's house in the evening. I go to work overnight, and then I repeat the cycle and sleep while they're in school. So it's very taxing on me. I don't get a lot of sleep, but I love those little boys with everything I have, and it's worth it. No amount of sleep can make up for not spending time with them. So they're at their mom's this weekend, and so, you know, every other weekend I'm able to get out and be by myself, or camp with other people, whatever. So that's what's going on the home front. I went through a period of some pretty heavy depression, just processing the whole loss of the marriage. There's grieving that goes on. It's just like a death, really. And I kept a close eye on my kids and made sure that they had their needs met and knew they were loved, that it had nothing to do with them. They're just victims in this. And thankfully my ex is really good about not turning them into a pawn, a weapon against me. So, and I've been very careful to be respectful of her and do the same. But we don't really communicate much unless it has to do with the boys, which is how it needs to be. So that's what's been going on there. Still working at the hospital. This last week has just been very hard. I didn't get enough sleep a lot, and I didn't get enough sleep a lot. That's a sentence. And got served with the papers and just like slept. As soon as my kids went to their moms, I would go back to sleep until work, and then I'd go to work and come home and take them to school and go back to sleep. And all of my open free time at all has been sleep. So to say that I just climbed a mountain peak and then continued on into this beautiful basin is saying a lot, because a week ago, I wouldn't have, not even a week ago, several days ago, I couldn't get myself out of bed, you know. It's hard, you know. I don't know at my age if there's still someone out there or not. And I'll tell you what, I won't get married again unless I am absolutely sure. I was absolutely sure this time, but over time things changed. You just don't know. You can't predict it. But I know what it's like to be married to your best friend, and I know what it's like to be married to someone who's completely incompatible, and I know what it's like to be married to someone who is emotionally sterile. So at this point, grain of salt, day at a time. So I need this for therapy, and just like climbing that, climbing to that peak, there were times on that trail I wanted to give up. It was very steep and exhausting. I could only do, 10 yards, and then I'd have to stop and catch my breath because it got steeper and steeper as you got towards the top. And people would walk by me and say, "You're almost there." They could tell how beat I was. But I made it. I made it to the peak and beyond, and I will make it back just fine. And you're watching this video right now because I made it back. With a new tail to tail and a new place to camp, really. Beautiful. That's life, Sometimes getting to that peak is a real struggle, and you have to do it alone. No one can do it for you. And you just have to keep going. And sometimes it's baby steps to get to the next flat spot. And then rest, and then baby steps again until you reach the peak. And when you get to that peak and you see that view, you know it was worth it. It was worth the struggle and the cost. So, sitting here in my hammock, swinging in the breeze, the river running behind me, was it worth it? Oh yeah, it was. So that's it. That's the divorce update. My guess is there's a 90-day waiting period and 2 online classes I have to take. And because we agree on everything, We don't share debts. Things are pretty separate that way, just like our marriage was. I'm thinking July, August at the latest, the divorce will be final. So that's it. That's all I have to say about it. I won't drag it out. If anything changes, I'll mention it, but I think it's pretty cut and dry at this point. I'm grateful that my kids are in my life, and that's all that matters. They have saved my life so many times. So have my older kids, in so many ways. And they don't even know it. Now, as far as what I brought to eat on the trail, something a little lighter to talk about. I am doing the keto diet. I need to get back down to 180, which is what I should weigh for being 5'10". I'm gonna make a confession. I weighed 230 pounds 4 weeks ago. I am down to 215 pounds. And I'm still losing weight. That means a lot of meat, cheese, vegetables that grow above the ground, low carb diet drinks. Sugar is not part of my life anymore, and I don't miss it. That first week was brutal, and after that, you know, I wondered if it was worth it, and then I saw the pounds coming off. I was like, this is working. I haven't been below 220 in a decade. And a lot of it is the depression from the difficult marriage. Some of it is winter weight I've gained that I never really burned off winter after winter. And so I feel good. Coming up this mountain wasn't nearly as difficult as it used to be. I'm looking forward to summer when I can lighten the load in my pack with ultralight gear, and also have lost this extra weight on me, which makes it easier on my knees, easier on my back. I can go farther, faster. It'll make backpacking a much more rewarding experience. So that's what's going on. That's why I had meat sticks and tuna and whatever that cheese was. That was really good, by the way. That it was like the crusty part off a grilled cheese sandwich, but it was pressed into like granola bar shape. God, that was good. I wonder if you can make it. Anyway, I'm big into the keto thing. I'm not going to stay on it forever. I want to lose the weight, and then I just want to take better care of myself after that. So you will be seeing me eating Mountain House meals on the trail, and Snickers bars, and whatever else I've used for energy in the past. But I will also be incorporating much healthier foods. And once my weight is down to where I want it to be, then there's no reason for me to deny myself beautiful things in life, like jelly-filled powdered sugar donuts. I do miss those. I walked by them in the store yesterday and almost cried. But hey, I'm doing good. And when I see those results, I stop. I stop myself and say, you know what, it's not worth it. So right now, I'm quite pleased with it. So let's do some exploring around here. I've got my energy back, not just from the Excedrin, but the electrolytes, the water, the food I ate. I feel so much better. Let's explore around here and check out the site. That's what we came up here for, to relax and explore. There's been one other person that's come down here to take pictures, and I spoke with them briefly, and that was it. It's the nice thing about these hard to get to places is you don't end up with tons of campers parked right next to you. That is Mount Ogden. You can continue on this Basin trail clear to the peak. Those little antennas you see up there on the very peak of Mount Ogden, that's a helipad. And on the other side is Snow Basin Ski Resort. There's a utility road that goes all the way up there that you can hike in the summertime and sit up there on that helipad. And guess who plans on doing that? Someone else. No, I'm just kidding. I do want to. It's kind of complicated. There's gondolas involved, and you have to take them up to the trail. I don't know. I've never been on a gondola. That sounds fun to me. One thing I've noticed is my fear of heights has disappeared as far as the mountains go. The last time I came up to Malin's Peak and I used my camera to film, I couldn't even look. I had to like look away and hold my camera out, and I had a really hard time just looking down at that view, and it didn't even bother me this time. So being out in nature a lot more, higher elevations has definitely helped with that. I kind of want to walk around here and check out the where the hotel used to sit. That's not very long. That's what, 20 years? And that's it. So where a hotel once stood, there is now a meager primitive fire pit with a grill that someone left behind. That's actually kind of cool, because then you could come up here and take advantage of that without having to carry one. What is that thing? There's something up there that I didn't notice when I came in. Let's go check it out. Oh, okay. It's a very damaged locker of some kind. What? This is some kind of machinery. Padlocked. Boy, who the heck would have spent the time and energy to try to break that open? That is seriously dented. Like big time, solid steel. I don't know what's in there. Phone service? Maybe? I know there are people out there who watch my videos who have been up here and already know all this stuff. And maybe you can enlighten me in the comments down below what the heck this thing's doing here. Seriously, there's nothing up here. But maybe it has something to do with Snow Basin. I don't know. That's quite a ways. I don't know. This is a modern piece of equipment. I don't understand why someone would take the time and energy to bash the hell out of it. But somebody sure did. Okay. Well, that's exploring point number 1. Go back to where the hotel was. I got distracted. So there are a lot of nice, flat, and actually pretty soft areas for a tent. So I'm thinking my 2-pound ultralight Spitfire would go nicely right there. I don't know if I want to be that close to the entrance. Anyway, I'm just scoping out campsites at this point. I'm sure there's not much to see back in here. Then again, this is why we explore. Not only do we have a primitive campfire, someone built a lean-to. Look at that.
That is a genuine bushcraft shelter, my friends. Oh, sweet.
They did a good job. Probably not enough pine boughs, but hey, it's a start. That's something that you could come here and definitely improve on. That is awesome. That really is cool. Love it. Who needs a tent, right? Nature comes with its own tents. So Ogden is way down there. My hammock is down over that way. The hotel site was there. Here's our river. And this must be the trail that eventually leads all the way up to Mount Ogden, which I hear is pretty strenuous. I certainly would not want to hoof it all the way up there on this side. I'll take the the tram and the utility road. Thank you very much. Oh yeah, you just keep going back and you keep finding sites to camp. This is more like it. Here's another one. Hasn't been used in a while. It's easy to stop at these campsites you can just spot right off the trail, but it's worth it to hike around a bit and try to find something else not so close to other people. Don't really want to keep winding up into there. I need to save my energy for the hike back. But this will at least give you a good, and me, a good look around. And I'm sure as the spring wears on, this place is going to green up spectacularly. So perhaps I will return in May and camp up here when it's a little more green. Definitely bring lighter gear with me than what I brought today. And now that I know there's a water source, leave the 3-liter bladder at home. Just that is the worst part of that pack. The pack isn't super heavy. None of the other stuff I brought is heavy. But that water bladder. 3 liters of water weighs this much. So that added that much weight. And the other thing about losing weight, you guys are going to be so sick of hearing me talk after this, but I lost 15 pounds, and that's the equivalent of taking 15 pounds out of my pack and leaving it home. That's 15 pounds less than I usually carry. Pretty awesome. Maybe after this hike, 14 pounds. Who knows? The exercise is an important part of this diet too. Here we have a rib bone of some kind, some small animal. Look how tiny. Bigger than a rabbit. Wonder what that is. It's just so peaceful here. Let me just stand here for a minute and shut my trap. Can you imagine the history, the noise that went on here running a hotel, a bed and breakfast with horses drawing carriages up here full of supplies and people? By the time I edit this video and upload it, I'll have included some photos of what it used to look like. And I'll also do some research. Maybe throw some info up on the screen so that we can learn together a little more about the hotel that stood here at one time. We have some old cans over here. Ugh, who brings canned food with them? Western family. Okay. Turkey breast. Somebody forgot their can opener. Look how they broke those open. So they had a turkey and I don't know what this is. Fruit? Possibly fruit? I don't know. I learned my lesson, and thanks to a viewer who recommended the little can openers that the military uses, they work fantastic. And so what I've done is I've put it on my keychain. I always have it. It's always with me because I've had to do crap like that before. But I don't really bring canned goods with me that much. Car camping, yes. Backpacking, no. Why would I carry something that heavy? Let's walk down to the river, kind of check things out, walk along the river back down to the hammock. God, that's beautiful. It's just amazing up here. No wonder they wanted to build a hotel here. I'm glad it's not here anymore, but, you know, whatever. Look how clear that water is. I love it. I love it. This hike was so worth it. It was hard. Hard for me. There were many people who summited and went right back to their cars before I reached the top. But I was filming, taking pictures, and taking those rests frequently because I didn't want to get up here and be so exhausted I was sick to my stomach and wasn't having any fun. I'm not in the same shape as a trail runner or many trail runners today. If you're going to do this hike, it's marked as moderate. So was Waterfall Canyon. And when they say moderate, what they really mean is pretty dang difficult, steep. Difficult or hard. I don't know if there's rock climbing involved or rappelling or what, but I have yet to even think about tackling a difficult trail. To me, that was difficult. To someone else, they run to the top with their dog in tow and run back to their car. And it was just a tiny part of their day. When I do something like this, I plan on staying and enjoying being out here in nature. It is 4:10, so I've been up here in this area for the last 3 hours. I got up here about 1 o'clock. It took me a while to get up here, but as I lose weight and hike more, it won't take as long. And it's not about the race to the top anyway. It's about enjoying the journey. Ames Ironworks, Oswego, New York. I know that's upside down to you. Just so amazing to me. The hands that built this are so long dead. And one day, I will be as well. Now they do ask that you leave these artifacts alone. You can come up here and it looks like some people have shot their way into them, which is ridiculous. This is a beautiful piece of history. Don't mess with it. Leave it alone. And somebody broke a bottle over it. Yeah. Okay, my friends. The hammock is down. Looks like I was never here. The backpack is on. The trail awaits. Let's go.
Dreaming I ran away with you inside a sea of clarity. Hoping to see inside your soul, to feel your warmth, to feel your company. Reaching, I need to clasp your hand, to feel your touch, to look into your eyes. Drifting into your empty gaze, I feel your eyes begin to comfort me. Love, in essence, an embryo, so small, so fragile, so beautiful. It grows through nourishment, feeding off the source of all life. A tiny spark, an eventual inferno. It consumes me. Does it consume you too? I want to grow and burn with you. Grow and burn. Grow and burn. We start so small, yet loom so large. Your tiny waist, your ivory smile. I grow into you and you into me until we are one. A love is born into new light, a light that has no end. My light I give to you, your light consumes my soul. The flight from sadness turns to madness in the purple afterglow of life. Reluctance takes hold, deceives the untold, and breathes a welcome breath upon the sea of ignorance. Despite the refuse of a day gone awry, my mind begins to grow and fly into twilight with love in its wings. To kiss, caress, and bless the open, unending sky, a hazy shadow looms in thought on a lazy, unending pillow of deceit. Desperately I cling to the effervescent glow, longing to be free, to taste the unrelinquished flavor of sweet abandon. She presses gentle hands and ruby lips against my crying face. It's been too long, and I've ached for her healing. Like spring kills winter, she melts my icy heart and causes it to bloom and warm. I was as blind as the night is dark, but when the night came, it was her face that I saw first. She was there all along, waxing and waning as I tossed to and fro. Forgiveness, I pray, for my ignorance and suffering. Just hold me now. Give me safety and comfort where there was chaos and abandon. Kiss my fervent lips. Make love to my burning body. Let healing speak now, and forgiveness blind the past. The whisperings of my soul ebb and flow. I saw the sun setting on you and wondered. I believe, I wait, I pray. If you leave me again, I will not follow. You are my light and the last hope for love. My aged soul trembles in your presence. You are all I cling to now. Without you, hope is lost and despair victorious. Look into me and see this yearning. Reciprocate now before it's too late. Give me a sign, some hope for the future, lest I fall by your wayside. In the infinite wisdom of the beat of your heart, my head rests upon you, no longer apart. When morning arouses the life in my eyes, I find you there waiting in sorrow disguise. Your kiss like a feather caresses my lips, your eyes and your perfume and your fingertips. They tell me the story of your broken love, the sadness that lingers like sound from a dove. I hold you so gently, as if you will break, and whisper my longing for love we could make. You tell me you love me in eloquent tones, like water that rushes over riverbed stones. Then night comes with silence in purple and blue, now lost in a moment of wet lily dew.
One lady, she laughed so annoyingly. You know that Seinfeld episode where George describes Jerry's girlfriend as sounding like Elmer Fudd sitting I can't even say it. Elmer Fudd sitting on a juicer when she laughs. That's what this lady sounded like. Just oh God, I had to let them go. Here comes the cackling girl. I just want you to hear this laugh. That's the cackler. Come on. I've never heard such a... Talk about Elmer Fudd sitting on a juicer. That girl has a boyfriend with her. I couldn't do it. Hearing that day in and day out, I'd lose my mind. I know I'm being a jerk right now, but hey, it's just how I feel. Here they come. Hello. Okay, so the lady who just ran by was the cackler. Ironically, she couldn't even look up and say hi to me, but she let everyone hear her hyena impersonation.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Trail etiquette 101. Thank you for moving off the trail and letting me by. That's not the last of them. This is that same group that I was talking about when we started this hike. Here they come. Hi. A few more to go. Oh, they're making me crazy. Might as well put my tent up and make a fire and relax for the night. Here come some more people. But they're all going down. They're all leaving. This is recording. Yeah. Okay, so it just occurred to me that the whole segment I just filmed of me reaching the peak, my shutter was closed. That's not true. I saw it with my own eyes. Okay, never mind. Cancel that. My freaking water bottle. Let's take my shirt out. It's in the way. Got all this food in here. Just my damn water bottle. Could I already take it out? You only brought it. I don't currently. We'll just skip that. Cut it out. And we'll take in this area. You know what? I have this on little flower mode. Oh, it keeps changing. I'm trying to get used to this camera. Let me see. Focus on that. That looks obscene. I know there are a couple of you out there that know this area. I'm spitting while I talk.
You spit when you talk.
It's part of his delicious breakfast.
Speaking of the military, Air Force jets. Oh no. That's actually a jet blue. But you probably couldn't even see that. I didn't zoom in. Who cares? You've seen an airplane. Anyway, we're not up here to see airplanes. For me, when I do something like this, excuse me.
Don't make me cut you.